And today I'm going to start the training for Never 6%. Let me go ahead and share the screen and welcome to this training. Basically, what I want to go over the basics of what you learn before taking your license, because it's very important to understand from not so much from the beginning, but from where is this information coming from. Because it's always good, you know, when you do your continuing education, when you're starting working with a client, to understand the rules and regulations. So first, let's start with chapter 475. This is part one of Florida Statutes, Real Estate Brokers, Sales Associates, and Schools. And you're going to understand exactly what this means. Before I start, let's review who are the stakeholders in real estate. Well, when you are new in real estate, you're going to hear a lot of title companies, loan officers, appraisers, and this is basically like the best way that I describe, all of these people involved in a real estate transaction. So you're going to have the broker, and this is basically the person on top, and he has all the sales associates working under his or her license. Then the sales associates from there, they want to become realtors, they have to belong to, realtors.com, the organization of realtors. And they also have to become from there, they have to basically belong to a board. And when we say board, for example, in Volusia, the Daytona board, the Flagler board, whatever your broker is working on there, then you will decide which board you have to belong to. The clients, which is also called the consumers, is going to be the sellers and the buyers. Then you're going to have the businesses. And the business, when I talk about business, I'm talking about like businesses in general. It's extremely important as a realtor. No, as a realtor, I don't want to use the word realtor. I want to use the word sales associate. I think like when you are working with housing or anything, you have to do networking with businesses because we all support each other. So that's the reason why I also put them as stakeholders in real estate. Title companies and lawyers. Title companies are basically those places where you're going to basically call and say like, look, I have this client with this contract. We need to figure out all the documentation for it. That's what the title company. Sometimes you're working with a real estate lawyer. Then you're going to have the loan officers, and these are basically the professionals that assist you with the loan origination. And it's also a great way to also network. This is a networking peer because loan officers will refer to realtors and realtors will refer to loan officers. And the better relationships that you have with loan officers, sometimes, you want to have maybe like 2 or 3, because depending on the client, you might say, look, you can go to this guy, or this girl. And, you have at least 3 options of people that I have witnesses that have done a good job. Obviously, the consumer always needs to go ahead and do his or her own research, but this is a good way of networking. Appraisers. These are basically the licensed professionals hired by the bank to assess the value of the property. You don't hire the appraisers. No one does. The bank basically selects the appraiser. Then you have the inspectors, and these are licensed professionals too, hired by the buyer to get an inspection report. Now, when you have like a buyer and they don't know, where to find an inspector, it's always good to know, local inspectors, and tell the customer or the consumer, listen, this is like a list of the people that I have found. Obviously, the consumer always needs to do their own research, but it's good that as a sales associate, if you have a client and you have like a list of all of these services, as you can see here, then they're going to feel much better, and they're going to be like, oh, now I understand, what the title company is going to do for me. Oh, now I understand what the appraiser is going to do. So anytime I have a client and I want to do either buyer on the seller side, if you kind of give an explanation of the stakeholders in real estate, it's going to make a difference how that client is going to feel, because now he or her is understanding the rules of the games and who's playing with it. Then you have property managers. So property managers are basically, so if you're a sales associate and you have to deal with a condo or anything that has an association, these are the people you basically have to call. I also believe that these are also networking peers, because sometimes you have homeowners going to the property managers and saying, oh, can I list my house with you? And the property manager may like, no, I don't like selling houses, but I know this sales associate that is very nice for never 6%, and boom. So basically, it's always important to have good relationship with all of these peers because it's good networking. Insurance agencies. Also, licensed professionals to ask about insurance and flood zones. I always tell the consumer, try to understand flood zones area, call with your insurance agent to help you determine what is a flood zone and give you the proper information. I forgot to put here the other stakeholders, which also will be like CPAs and all that. Now, this is in general the people that we talk, right? In my opinion, when it comes to real estate. But according to Chapter 475, and this is where basically Florida law goes to, and let me see if I can, okay, hold on. Let me go ahead and share this now, share the screen again, because I think it took it off. We're almost done. Okay, perfect. Now here, this is where we start. This is basically the website where you're gonna find the status under the state of Florida, and this is great because look, 475, Chapter 1 is real estate brokers, associates, and schools. From 1 to 18, we're not gonna do all of them today. All what we're gonna do, and all what I wanna show you is where do we get all these definitions, and these are basically the proper definitions. Who is the broker? Then here you're gonna have who's the broker associate, the commission, the consumer, customer, the department. When they say Department of Business and Professional Regulations, this is a question from the test. These are basically the mom and dad, to put it away, the department. And here you're going to see all of the single agents, super important, means a broker represent as a fiduciary, either the buyer or seller, but not both in the same transaction. Transaction broker, very, very, very important to read these definitions, and this is where we're gonna stop. I feel that, of course, these are very technical lawyers, law definitions, but it will give you kind of like a feeling of this, basically like the definitions of real estate according to the chapter 475 from the state of Florida. This is part 1 of our training. Please stay tuned. We're going to be doing more training. Have a good day, and don't forget, this is Vanessa Growlich, and have a good day.